Hello everyone, my name is Ramavat Santosh. I am from National Institute of Technology, Warangal. Present I am working as a software engineer. I hope everyone heard about DSA. Today I am here to wrap up the fundamentals and foundation concepts of data structures and algorithms. Let's begin with our first question. What is data structures and algorithm and why do we learn it? Before going further, I would like to show you something. In today's lecture, we are going to cover these four chapters. What is DSA? Time complexity, big of O, recursion, and math you actually need. So let's begin with our first topic. What is DSA? Before going further, let's have a brief introduction about data structures. Assume that data structures are boxes for storing information and algorithms are recipes for doing things with those boxes. Pick the right box, place the right recipe, and your program is fast, small, and correct. At the end, we need these things: fast, small, and correct. You have to reduce the time, you have to reduce the money, budget, etc. etc. So imagine your backpack. You carry a laptop, bottle, charger, notebook, pens, and etc. If you throw everything loose into one big compartment, finding your charger in a hurry is painful. It takes a lot time. But if you have separate sleeves, one for the laptop, one for the bottle, a small pen pouch, that same task takes 2 seconds. That's data structures. The bag is your computer's memory. The compartments are different ways to organize the same information. Choose wrong, your program is slow. Choose right, it's instant. So let's begin. What's an algorithm? An algorithm is a step-by-step recipe. How do I find a particular book on a shelf? There are various ways to search a book in the shelf. Let's have the first step, linear search. Look at every book one by one. Works always, but slow. Binary search. If the books are sorted alphabetically, note this point, sorted. Open the middle one, decide left or right based on some condition, and repeat this process until you find your book. It is lightning fast, but only works because the books are sorted. So the recipe you can use depends on the structure you pick. DS and algorithms are joined at the hip. Let's have a next question. Why every interviewer asks DSA? What they test, what they don't test. They test about your problem solving skills. Can you break a fuzzy real world task into clean steps? They test your efficiency thinking. Do you reach for the cheapest tool, not the first tool? Code under pressure. Can you write bug free code in 25 minutes? Communication skills. Can you explain what you are doing while doing it? What they don't test? Memory. Who invented quicksort? Library tricks using a fancy framework won't save you here. And speed typing. Slowing down to think is rewarded, not punished. So think before doing anything. Don't start coding while just seeing the question. A data structure is a layout in memory. Array, linked list, tag, queue, hash map, tree, and graph. An algorithm is a procedure that runs on a data structure. Searching, sorting, traverse, find shortest path. And we have a complexity, big O. Next lesson is how we measure how good an algorithm is. Not only big O, we have small o, but I'm going to teach about big O, which is the more important and which we use in our daily lead code or code forces. Patterns are reusable shapes. If you have seen 5 problems that all needed a sliding window, the sixth screams sliding window before you finish reading it. I hope you're getting. There are few very highlighted patterns which I am going to teach in our upcoming videos. Stay tuned. So what is the takeaway from this? DSA isn't about memorizing. It's about learning a small toolbox so well that you instinctively pick the right tool when you see a new problem. Let's have a look about time and space complexity. Big O tells you how much slower your program gets when the input gets bigger. Because while testing, you may see of 10, 100 items and you will test. But if it is 1,000, lakhs, crores, How will you test? So value increases, the n value also increases. So big O tells you how much slower your program gets when the input gets bigger. O of n means double the input, double the time. O of n square means double the input, 4 times the time. You will get an idea while you solve the problems. Let's have a cafeteria analogy. You're buying lunch coupons for everyone on your team. O of 1 constant. The cafeteria sells a whole team pack for one fixed price. 5 people or 50 people, same effort. O of log n, logarithmic. You ask the cashier to split the team into halves, then halves again, and only the smaller half pays. Even for 1,000 people, it takes 10 splits, crazy fast. O of n, linear. You stand in line and pay for each teammate one by one. 50 teammates equals to 50 payments. O of n log n, linear arithmetic. Each teammate pays, but they also help sort the team roster. A tiny extra log n work for per person. Still very acceptable. O of n square, quadratic. For every teammate, you check their coupon against every other teammate's coupon. 50 teammates equals to 2,500 checks. Ouch. O of 2 to the power n exponential. You try every possible subset of the team. 30 people, a billion subsets. The cafeteria closes before you finish. I hope you're getting the idea how much fast your code should be. Mostly O of 1 is acceptable, but whenever you solve problems in lead code or core forces, O of n log n, depending on the pattern of the question, you will solve it. Let's have a graph so that it will help for your examinations too. Like this, it increases. I have a clear table for you so that you can learn later too. So how to compute big O in 30 seconds? Find every loop. One loop over n is O of n. Two nested loops, O of n into n equals to O of n square. Recursive calls. Count the call tree. You heard about recursion, right? Function inside function. You call your function again and again. Like if you want two table, so you will mention one function def multiple of 2, and whenever you call that, so you will call 10 times, right? So you will get your complete table. 2 twos are 1, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, like that up to 2 tens are 20. You will get an idea completely. Next, have our next topic, recursion thinking in dolls. So let me give you a complete overview of recursive function. A recursive function solves a problem by calling a smaller version of itself until the problem becomes trivial. Two must, a base case, the small problem, and a recursive step, how to break the big problem into smaller ones. The matrioxadol. I don't know how to pronounce this, but let's begin with our example. You know those Russian dolls that hide a smaller doll inside. Open the doll, smaller doll. Open that, even smaller. At some point, you reach the tiniest doll which has nothing inside. That's recursion. Every call hides a slightly smaller call until you hit the tiny base case. Like example C, if base case reached, return trivial answer. Stop. Auto sub. I given a simple example, right? You see like this. He is giving factorial. This will be used in your examinations very much in factorial. I'm taking long fact. If n is less than or equal to 1, because there is no 0 factorial, 0 factorial is 1. Sorry, there is 0. After that, there is no minus factorial. So we have 0 factorial equals to 1. So we will give that base value and proceed. And here is the famous question Fibonacci 2. So Fibonacci of n equals to Fibonacci n minus 1 plus Fibonacci n minus 2, because there will be numbers in a order. First number and second number equals to third number. Adding those two, like it start from 0. 0 plus 1 equals to 1. So 0, 1, 1. Next number is 1 plus 1, 2. Next number is 1 plus 2 3, 2 plus 3 5, like that it goes. I hope you got the complete idea about recursion. And at the end, I am going to tell you what is math you actually need. Interviews use less math than you fear. Master 4 mini recipes. GCD, most important. Primes, modular arithmetic, and fast exponential. That's 90% of what shows up. Very much important. What is the largest number that divides both 24 and 36? Answer 12. Doing this for huge numbers is fast. GCD of A comma B equals to GCD of B comma A mod B until B equals to 0. Time of log min A comma B. So minimum of A comma B. Like if we have 24, 36, then we can say minimum is 24. So O of 24, not O of 24, it is O of n, that's we consider some number. This is the logic of GCB until B equals to 0. It continues. Similarly, primes. I will share these notes. Let just ping me in the chat.